Hello YouTube, and welcome to my Minecraft recreation of Cloudbase, the mobile headquarters of the Spectrum organisation in the Gerry Anderson series Captain Scarlet and the Mysterons. I hope you enjoy. So first I'm going to give you an orbit of the exterior. Now this entire structure took me about, give or take, a month to create. Here's the bridge. Now I'm going to give you a bird's eye view of Cloudbase. Yeah, you can see all of these details and lines on the flight deck, which I wouldn't know about if I hadn't found some behind the scenes photos of the top. And I also found some images of, well, drawings of all the different angles of Cloudbase made by a user on DeviantArt called Arthur Toucheds, so those were very helpful in creating this. Next up is the Angel Interceptor runway. We've got Angels 1, 2 and 3 lined up. Right, now for the underside of Cloudbase. Here's the amber room. Now you're not really able to properly appreciate the underside detail of Cloudbase unless we put on some night vision. There we go. And also another behind the scenes photo really helped with making the underside. And over here we've got some things that I didn't know about until the Gerry Anderson Instagram page posted a deleted shot from the episode The Trap. I call these things the observation gondolas, since they kind of look, at least to me, like airship gondolas. Here's a close-up of one of the engines, and I think with that it's time to move on to the interior. So we make our approach to the command center helipad and go down into the command center. So this here is the main control room. You see Colonel White's desk and Lieutenant Green's computer. There's a screen there. Looks like Harmony and Captain Blue are doing some judo in the gym. Over here is one of the observation tubes, which lets you get a very nice view of the flight deck. And you can just look out. Moving on to the radar room, where we've got a large map of Cloudbase. Here's the other observation tube. This is the information center, so there's just a bunch of computers and desks and switches here. Oh yeah, so that over there is a lift to the conference room area. Here is the promenade deck, so there's just another place where you can get a nice view, and there's some plants here. Through these doors we have the restaurant. And through these doors we have the second promenade deck. So pretty much just the same as the other one, just kind of flipped. Okay, and down the elevator we go to the next deck. Into the officers' standby lounge. So this is where the Spectrum officers can just relax before their next mission. Inside the main communications room, there isn't really anything too interesting here. Through here to the officers' gymnasium. Pretty limited by what space I had. But through here we get to the swimming pool. Whoa! Oops! Now we're on our way to the bottom deck of the command center. Around this corner we have the crew quarters. This way leads to the room of sleep, which is equipped with advanced technology, which allows you to get a full night's worth of sleep in just about a couple hours. More officers' crew quarters over here. And as you can see in here, I've actually color-coded the beds based on whose crew quarters it is. So Captain Magenta gets a magenta bed, for example. Here's Colonel White's quarters, and it's much bigger than the rest, as you might expect. Over here we just have some guest rooms, nothing special. Over here we have the iconic conference room. Now, a question people have had for decades is, how exactly does Colonel White get into the middle of the conference room table? Well, it's pretty simple. And now you know. Now here's the elevator, which takes you up to the main control room. There it is. And I think that's it for the bridge, so now let's make our way down to the main body. It's quite a way down from here. So we go through these doors to make our way to the physical training and drill hall. That's supposed to be a basketball hoop. Next up is the gymnasium. Those are changing rooms over there. And over here we have the lecture theatre. As you can see, today's lecture is the Physiology of Lower Primates, hosted by Dr. Thorne. So if we just enter through here, here's where the speaker can stand. Here are the rear entrances and a window into the lecture theatre. This is the seminar room, where you can have your seminars, yeah. Over here we have the staff canteen. Over here it's just more crew quarters and a bathroom. Next up is the Spectromart, which is just a little shop. Just got a bunch of shelves of stuff here. On this level we have the Angels crew quarters. Now if we make our way over here, we'll make our way to the Amber Room, the Angels Standby Lounge. Over there's the 0X, which you might have seen in another video of mine. What a magnificent sight. Now up here we've got the seats which take you up to the Angel Interceptors. And there's just the other corridors to the interceptors. Now I had absolutely no idea what to put at the bottom of this area, so I've just kind of made it a bit like the promenade decks, so just got something of a garden going on down here. So you can, just another area to relax when off duty. Now we'll make our way up to the aircraft hangar, which is under the Angel runway. So we've just got some other Angel interceptors down here, Angels 4, 5 and 6 if you will. This Angel over here is having its engine tested. And over here we've got a little area where you can just watch the engine be tested from a safe area. And so, with that, it's time to make our way to the lower deck. Through these doors over here, we have one of the operating theatres. And this way leads to one of the helipads. The whole idea is that that helipad is supposed to retract down, so it can bring people inside. Down this corridor we get to the medical centre. Here's another one of the operating theatres. The entire medical centre is quite large, so if you're not careful you can get quite lost in here. Not much to see here, apart from a bunch of beds. Well, back into the women's ward. Just like I said, this place is quite a maze. I think we've seen everything in here. Just some more crew accommodation through here. This way to the showers. This leads to the generator room. This houses the anti-gravity generators which help keep Cloudbase afloat. and it's also where the Mysteron agent Dr. Magnus met his end. Up there you can see the engine control room. More on that later. Oh, this corridor could do with a bit more light. Here we have the observation gondolas that I mentioned earlier. We'll be going into the middle one. They're pretty much all the same inside. So yeah, you can get a pretty nice view of the underside of Cloudbase. These crew quarters are pretty much just the same as the ones on the lower deck, so we won't waste our time in there. Next up we'll be going to the bursar's office and the sports halls. Oops, I missed a spot here. And I think that might be just about it for the Cloudbase interior. Jump cut! Okay, so during the filming of this video, I realised that I had forgotten to finish off one of the corridors here, so I just had to finish it off screen. We're just about to enter the engine control room. Okay, so now we're finished with the interior. So, that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed this tour of Cloudbase, and thank you for watching. Good night, Awesome.